biggest reveal yet in the USAID funding storm, which has been making the headlines for the past few days. With US President Donald Trump's massive statement. What did Trump say at a summit in Miami, which has now become the biggest talking point? Let's listen into what President Trump said.
What do we need to spend $21 million for voter turnout in India? Well, $21 million, I guess they were trying to get somebody else elected. Well, we ought to tell the Indian government, this is a total breakthrough.
What do we need to spend $21 million on India voter turnout? Guess they were trying to get somebody else elected. We've got to tell the Indian government this is a total breakthrough. Huge statement that's come from President Trump himself. Now, government sources have said that some social media accounts and websites which have got deactivated in the last few days, some people are also ghosting. They've gone, really, it's happening. An action will be taken on nefarious elements related to USAID or who have used foreign funds to create domestic trouble. PM Modi has already spoken on multiple accounts on earlier foreign interference during our election process. Let's listen in to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, what he said about deliberate foreign interference in Bharat's electoral process. Listen in.
आजकल देश दुनिया के बड़े बड़े ताकतवर लोग मोदी को हटाने के लिए एकजुट हो गए हैं, लेकिन ये नारी शक्ति का आशीर्वाद है, मातृशक्ति का आशीर्वाद है, आपका सुरक्षा कवच है कि मोदी हर चुनौती से टकराते हुए चलता जा रहा है। आज जब भारत तेजी से आगे बढ़ रहा है तो कुछ देशों को, कुछ संस्थाओं को ये पसंद नहीं आता है। बहुत से लोग हैं वो यही चाहते हैं कि भारत कमजोर हो, सरकार कमजोर हो, तो फिर खुद को जो फायदा उठाना है वो बड़ी आसानी से उठा सकते हैं। कांग्रेस वालों का और दुनिया में बैठी कुछ ताकतों का माथा गर्म हो जाता है। अगर भारत शक्तिशाली हो गया तो कुछ ताकतों का खेल ही बिगड़ जाएगा।
Now, during the 2024 Lok Sabha election campaign, Prime Minister Modi raked up the issue of foreign interference. Now, top BJP sources are telling CNN News 18 that USAID funding in Bharat has been linked to influencing political outcomes, particularly during the election years. Under the UPA, between 2004 and 2013, the Indian government received $204.28 million, while NGOs received $2,114.96 million. This is between 2014, 2008, let's get the date right, 2004 to 2013. Then, under the NDA, between 2014 to 2024, the government funding dropped to a mere $1.51 million. That is until 2015. Thereafter, the data is not there, but these are the numbers. There's hardly been any spending into the government. That's what we are given to understand. Whereas the number is 204.28 million between 2004 and 2013. This is till 2015, between 2014 to 2024 till 2015. It's $1.51 million, while NGO funding increased to $2,579.73 million. So compare this to $2,114.96 million for NGOs between 2004 and 13. 2014 to 2024, that number has only gone up by another about $400 million to about $2,579.73 million. Now, in terms of sector-wise spending, USAID funding is categorized into areas like health, education, democracy, human rights, governance, economic growth, and humanitarian assistance. Health funding has increased under the NDA era, especially in 2022. With respect to democracy, human rights, and governance, the funding spiked in 2022, coinciding with Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra. The government versus private institutions. USAID stopped funding the government of India after 2015. So after 2015, there has been no money that's gone directly into the government compared to what happened in the UPA era, where about $204 million plus went in a span of 2004 to 2013. Here, after 2015, between 2014 and 2015, about $1.51 million came. After that, nothing's come. Top recipients of this entire amount of $2,500 million plus amount. Top recipients include Catholic Relief Services, $218 million, CARE International, $208 million, World Health Organization, $136 million, the JHP Go Corporation, $157 million, NGOs and foreign influence. Several NGOs linked to USAID, such as Catholic Relief Services, CARE International, World Vision, are accused of proselytization and political activism. The OCCRP received $47 million. Published reports say that they were allegedly used against an active campaign against Prime Minister Narendra Modi-led government. Oxfam India faced an FCRA license cancellation issue in 2021 with a CBI probe initiated in 2025. And they have also received huge sums of money. Georgetown University and the foreign influence there. It's been involved in anti-India narratives, in hosting Rahul Gandhi at events linked to US intelligence. It is linked to Freedom House, CSIS, and the Henry Luce Foundation, which have funded anti-India reports. Funding is linked to controversies like the Astria Foundation received US aid support for the LGBTQI plus advocacy. Internews trained Indian journalists in USAID-backed programs to influence media narratives. Alleged political influence. USAID-funded organizations allegedly supported narratives against the BJP government. Friends of Democracy linked to George Soros backed reports targeting the Modi government. All this data has just come out and it's just only unfolding. The numbers are astronomical and confounding. Rohan Gupta and Syed Abbas, Asad Abbas with us. My namaste. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, gentlemen. Rohan Gupta, this is tons and tons of money that's come into Bharat. And it's come under the nose of this very Sarkar. Yes, it's alarming, it's surprising. But all these entities have received money right under the nose of this very Sarkar over the last 10 years.
See, the point is when US president says something, obviously you cannot just ignore it, and it is not one of the news. It's a serious issue. And when he says that to elect somebody else, these words are very, very important. And BJP has many times, come out with the issues how Soros funding is done in India. Whenever the foreign agency claims something, a lot of people in India, the opposition party jumps on that. Many of the parliament sessions were washed out just because of this news. Apart from that, if $21 million, when US president says it has been sent to elect somebody else, it's a serious issue, and somewhere it affirms the claims which are done by BJP till now. We have seen, Anand, in Bangladesh what happened. How Sheikh Hasina government was toppled and Yunus was put. And after that, we have seen the photos of Yunus with President Biden then. So it clearly creates a picture of danger for Indian democracy. And this requires more investigations and facts to come out that who has received this money. And we have to go in detail. If you see the crackdown of BJP government on foreign funding by the trust, the NGOs, that also reflects many such instances where they try to weaken our democracy. So I think it's a big conspiracy, and detailed investigation is required. And the President Trump, I think he has just touched the tip of the iceberg. That is what I feel.
Syed Asad Abbas.
Firstly, Rohan Gupta ji, many points you made, sir. I agree with you on that front. But let me tell you that the amount that is mentioned, $21 million, makes it look very small compared to your budget. As per the expenditure submitted by the Bharatiya Janata Party to the Election Commission of India, in the year 2024, your party has spent more than 1,700 crore. which makes it look the amount by the USAID about 200 crore. There's still a fraction of
How
the
can we
amount you
compare
have
these two?
spent. Now,
What's the
now, now,
logic?
sir. Yeah, the real question is, no doubt, the real question here is Rohan Gupta Sahab as to where did the funding go? सरकार भी तुम्हारी, लश्कर भी तुम्हारा. The fact is we need to know FCRA हो गया या money laundering कहाँ से आ रहा है पैसा? How is this money coming into India? And is it really causing unrest in our country? The real question also to be asked, Rohan Gupta Sahab, is that US aid undoubtedly has worked great for a country. Be it farmers, be it the work they have done with Reliance Foundation, be it the MOU signed with Piyush Goyal Sahab for the MOU with the Indian Railways, also with Devendra Fadnavis ji, so on and so forth. We do know Smriti Irani ji worked 4 years with the USAID, of course, much before she was in Bharatiya Janata Party. It was during when she was an actress. But the real question is, no doubt, national security is paramount to us. But the fact is, since you are the gatekeeper, since you are in the government, you are the ruling dispensation, आपके नाक के नीचे ये सब कैसे हो रहा है? इतना पैसा जो आ रहा है, just in the last 4 years, Rohan Gupta Sahab, $650 million of the USAID has come to India. How is that even possible without you being in the party, being present? The fact of the matter is, why don't you call out for a joint parliamentary committee on this or a Supreme Court monitored investigation? This to me really baffles, sir.
No, okay. Or you are asking the question of the gatekeeper. How did this money come in? Will you want to ask those people who have taken this money what they were up to? Why
Yes,
did they
yes,
take?
definitely.
Now, does this not equate equal to foreign interference? Is this not taking money from a foreign entity to destabilize an duly elected government with a mandate?
Absolutely, Arvind Saab. Bilkul, bilkul.
So
Verbatim, I completely agree with you.
So
Yes,
what? So
we
if
need
there
to
are
find out who are
agencies,
these-
if there are agencies who are actively pushing proselytization, it's not just about trying to evangelize or talk about their thing, but they're deliberately involving using money as a lure to convert people. Is that not a crime as per our law? If they were doing
Absolutely.
this, if they were deliberately pushing public perception with active propaganda and negative propaganda with a set agenda, is that right or wrong? Is that ethical or not? That too, funds being borrowed from a foreign government. Now, does that not equal to foreign interference? Now, if that is foreign interference and you are working with another state actor against the interest of the elected state, is that not treason or is that not anti-state activity, anti-Bharat activity? How would you define that? What should be done with people who are recipients of this money? And if this money is being deliberately done to try and derail the systems in Bharat, deliberately try to derail Bharat, what should be done with such people?
Anand Saab, your bullet points, your statistics, facts, figures are on point, undoubtedly. As a matter of fact, this time the only question, I stand with you, every question that you ask, absolutely. If millions of dollars which are coming in, what I hear is in the last 20 years, more than $2 billion have come into India, be it the UPA or be it the BJP. The fact of the matter is, the simple question here I ask, yes, sir, I completely stand with you. What is the money being used for? Is there conversion which is taking place or unrest in our country? The fact is, I speak of Hubbul Watan, love for the country, live for the country, and the same thing which our prophet says. But the fact of the matter is, Bharatiya Janata Party has been 10 years in power. How have they not been able to get to the root cause of this? What are the agencies doing? The Central Bureau of Investigation, Enforcement Directorate, which is fully on charge when it comes to getting a grip on the opposition leaders, what are they doing? Find these people who are causing unrest in India. Find these so-called activists who are causing such chaos here. And put them into the jail.
Then at that time, you and a certain chorus, quote unquote, ecosystem will not claim victim deliberately being victimized. They will not claim persecution. They will not come out and say, "अरे democracy खतरे में है. अरे देखो लोगों को प्रताड़ित कर रहे हैं. देखो तानाशाही सरकार हमारे पीछे पड़ी है. So what if I have taken a few million bucks here and there? Should I not have the right to earn and the right to live?" So all of those choruses will not begin. Syed Asad Abbas.
If Anand Saab, if it is found to be in any way against my country, against the national security, I think those voices will fade out when there is evidence, substantial backed evidence that certain elements in our country which are antisocial and working against the cause of our nation. I think they must be brought to books.
No, entities who
ecosystem
claim that they
should
are only
favor
working
them
towards
protecting.
increasing voter turnout, they will not classify as antisocial. But if they were deliberately trying to engineer certain unrest, or they were engineering certain machinations on ground to ensure that the ruling disposition fails and the ruling disposition doesn't get elected and the entire electoral process is put under question and scrutiny, then is that not an activity with a nefarious intent? That's where it stands. Okay, let Rohan Gupta answer some of the questions.
Okay.
Yes, Rohan Gupta.
Okay.
See, basic point here, Anand, is he was saying what action. We know that BJP has taken actions against this FCRA Act. We have seen a lot of actions against Oxfam and other NGOs. You know, Oxfam, I just read one statement of Oxfam NGO, right? Mr. Amitabh Beher. He says, for Congress party, that the Congress has been the banyan tree of ideas under which a broad range of multiple and even diverse ideas have nurtured and nourished as long as they have common core ethos, which is in line with the fundamental ideology framework of Congress and idea of India. So he told that Congress should form a banyan tree, it's a banyan tree, and it should form the alliance of civil societies to take care of these rights and all. And the same where FCRA action has been taken against these NGOs, lot of Congress leaders, they came out and spoke, oh, this is against the humanity. And so that is the problem here. So it's a big nexus, Anand. Now, whether it is a deep state or USAID, there is a whole nexus. It has to be broken impartially, systematically, because you can understand how these funds flow. George Soros, we know Hindenburg thing. When Hindenburg paper came out, the kind of money which was spent on social media, highlighting the points raised by that, supported by Soros, it's you cannot even compare what's happening. So they always try to destabilize. You remember Anand's statement of Salman Khurshid. When Bangladesh incident happened, he opened it that these kind of things can happen in India. So what is this? This is incitement. This is the kind of support they want from outside. I think the leader also once said that they will require support of democracies outside India to save democracy in India. What is this? So I think this is a nexus, but India and this government is strong enough to take care of these kind of issues. But today, things coming out of straight from the mouth of Trump, I think it's an eye opener and alarming for our democracy.
In 2020-21, in 2020-21. Oxfam, since you spoke about it, and with no disrespect, the report suggests about $3.5 million came to this organization. So there was an FCRA query raised. There's a CBI investigation in 2025. But where is the money? Where is the accountability? What's been done, Rohan Gupta? The point is the number shows 2,500 million plus has come in the last 10 years to these entities. And if you know that they are interfering, if you know that this money is coming into this country, why has this not been stopped? And if there are actors in our country who are working at the behest of a foreign state, taking money from them, what is the criminal culpability here?
Anand,
what can the state do to say a person like me, for example, X, let's say it is me. I have received $2 million and my job is to set out an agenda, set out a podcast, set out a platform on social media which just berates Narendra Modi and his government day in and day out. What will you do to me?
See, Anand, that's what I'm saying. It's not as simple as it shows. Like it's like simple money which is coming, and the way it is used, social media is not a small thing. If you see Deep State in USA, there are many dimensions. They work in name of environment. They work in name of elevating poverty. They work in name of infrastructure. They work in name of many things in name of human resources. That's what I'm saying. When action has been taken by Modi government against these NGOs, crackdown was made, their FCRA license were also cancelled, their funding was reduced. So obviously the action has been taken. And you cannot again, if there's genuine funding which comes, you cannot question everybody. So that's why the systematic
But you can at least, is the government now trying to see where did the money go? All right, the money came because you considered it genuine funding. As per the laws, if there is a registered company, it is getting foreign funding, it can get the money. But are you now at least going to see who got paid off and for what?
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Lots of licenses of these NGOs where FCRA Act was implemented, their license has been cancelled. So systematic approach is going on by the government to ensure that there should not be any misuse of fund. At the same time, people who are genuine, They also should not be
But
deprived
Rohan
of
Gupta,
funds.
you're
And you will-
stopping FCRA funding for NGOs. They're registering themselves as companies and they're getting it as FDI.
It's not going to be, again, Anand, let them try whatever they want. It's not going to be easy. It's a major conspiracy against our democracy, against our government. And the way things are coming out, it's a big nexus. Since it is involved many financial aspects, it requires a detailed study of deep state, social media, influencers, media, the small channels management, YouTube, lots of aspects are there. So obviously we are going in detail to ensure that nobody in India, whether it is FCRA or PMLA, nobody should be allowed to misuse the fund which is issued
the
from
larger
foreign
the
countries.
larger point is that in their effort to try and derail, dethrone, remove, dislodge Prime Minister Narendra Modi, they have also hurt the country. They have hurt the country, its people, its own path to progress. They have derailed reforms. They have hurt the country dearly. Yes, you may have political opposition, you may have ideological differences, but when you are ready to do that, you are ready to hurt the country for the sake of trying to dislodge a political leadership or a party, then where do your ethics stand and where do your loyalties stand? How do I trust someone like this, that this person has Bharat's interests in mind? That's a big question, and I hope viewers are thinking this too. We heard what the Prime Minister had to say. Gentlemen, coming back to you, let's also quickly listen in to what BJP's Amit Malviya earlier posted, an old video of Rahul Gandhi, and alleged that in March 2023, ahead of the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, Rahul Gandhi was in London and that Rahul urged foreign powers to intervene in Bharat's internal affairs. Listen in.
So the surprising thing is that the so-called defenders of democracy, which are the United States, European countries, seem to just be oblivious that a huge chunk of the democratic model has come undone, right? Which is a real problem. With regards to, and frankly, the opposition is fighting that battle, right? And it's not just an Indian battle. It's actually a much more important battle.
Meanwhile, Congress MP Jairam Ramesh alleged that, quote, claims made by the US President are typically nonsensical. Government of India should bring out a white paper at the earliest. Quick final comment, Syed Asad Abbas. Foreign interference, foreign funding, foreign money, it's not just an Indian battle. You guys need to come. All those who believe this, somewhere he's trying to placate this entire Soros ecosystem. It's similar lot of people who he met with in the US when he traveled there, and it's a similar lot of people who walked with him at Bharat Jodo. So should we not tie these visual threads together and draw a conclusion?
Firstly, Anand sir, you've asked the right question. Thank you for the time, sir. The fact is, be it Bharat Jodo or any campaign by any political party, the fact is there needs to be a clear-cut investigation. My humble plea to probably Rohan Gupta Sahab, who's the national spokesperson of BJP, I think I'm sure in your party there are talks of a joint parliamentary committee on this or even a Supreme Court monitored investigation in this completely. Also, the fact of the matter is, I believe $21 million here in Indian democracy election is a very small paltry figure, sir. Because BJP alone has spent.
You know how much is. No. BJP as a party. 1 minute. BJP as a party is spending money for propagating its own political agenda to the people of the country. $21 million is 180 crores. A few crores in the hands of certain nefarious elements can result in catastrophe. Do you think those who got funded for orchestrating or conducting the Delhi riots were paid 180 crores, sir? It's a matter of a few crores in their hands, and bricks and stones and petrol Molotov cocktails were there on the rooftops and they were pelted at innocents. And you saw what happened. You saw what happened. And if there is a deliberate intent behind creating that disruption, at a time when the then President Donald Trump was in our country to embarrass both Trump and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, what should be done with such people? Please answer that question. Is that not Bharat's image at stake? Or is it just your opposition or your hatred for Narendra Modi that counts? That's where do you draw the line and where were these lines blurred? Rohan Gupta, final
Definitely.
Absolutely,
Gupta,
I was
Gupta,
touching
please.
this point only. In their process of opposing Modi ji and BJP, if the leaders go out of the country on international forum, they raise questions on India. It's not questioning only Modi or BJP. It's questioning India, talking about raising war against the states. What is this? They have lost complete Haryana election just based on the one Sikh comment that they are afraid in India to wear turban. Where are they coming from? What are the points they want to raise? Why they are tarnishing image of India? And they are not understanding, Anand. They are losing confidence of people every day. They are losing state by state. It's a evidence that this kind of narrative, going outside the country, talking about the country, questioning the country, people are not liking it.
You seek the help of the voter, you seek the help of the
Absolutely.
entities within the country to push your political ideology, narrative against the ruling disposition, for the ruling disposition. However, the moment you extend your hands externally,
Exactly.
ask foreign forces for money to fund you, sir, you are selling your soul to them. They will hold you at ransom, they will hold you on a leash, and they will treat you as their pet and puppet if and when you come to power. Plus, you are also doing the nation a great disservice. That's
Exactly.
what. The same disservice is also being done by the ruling disposition by not cracking down upon these ghar ke bedis.
Yes.
Not by
Just
not
10
cracking
seconds, Anand,
down
sir.
upon these Mir Bakis who have hurt our country in the past, and they continue to do so even today. That's where I'm
Anand, sir.
going to